Hello, CQ. Hello, CQ. CQ, the Old Friends Net. Time for the Thursday edition of the Old Friends Get Together. This is W4MEC, your net control for today. The Old Friends Net meets 3 times a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 a.m. and Sundays at 5 p.m. Always the same frequency, 3715. And this is a net that's carried out in the old-fashioned roundtable format in amplitude modulation only. As long as you can generate an AM signal, you're welcome to check in with us. It's a great place to look for stuff, sell something, get some information, whatever you need. Somebody here probably has an answer. So, let's see. For those wishing to participate today, please give W4MEC a call and come out.
Good morning, Charlie, WA4LLR.
N4LQ.
WB4ARK.
WA4EVK.
K4JAL.
Okay. Short crew today. So far we got Dave, WA4LLR, Steve, N4LQ, Buddy, WB4ARK, Boone, WA4EVK, and Jimmy, K4JAL. Anybody else? Okay, Dennis. And I think you got the list down, so probably don't have to go over that again. And this W4MEC. Good morning. I haven't looked at the temperature, so I don't know what it is. So I'll take a look in a minute. And it's a beautiful day outside. Sun's beaming down, blue skies. And I'm taking a guess that since Cliff didn't check in, that means he's en route. Sounds like maybe he's coming this way for the lunch, but I guess we'll find out in a couple hours. So let's get started. Take it away, Dave, WA4LLR, W4MEC.
All right, Charlie. Good morning to you and the net, W4MEC, WA4LLR. No, Cliff has decided to go to the railroad breakfast at Irwin, so he said he wouldn't be gracing us with his attendance today. Hopefully next month. About 50 degrees here. Beautiful morning. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. And I'm just reading what they've got in the forecast for Sunday or Monday. I don't even want to think about it. They're saying possible record cold. Oh my goodness. Anyway, running the ART-13 and the R390A. And everybody's got a good signal this morning despite the geomagnetic storm that's in progress. So, here it comes, Steve, N4LQ, WA4LLR.
Yeah, WA4LLR is N4LQ. Well, good morning, everybody. And, yeah, sorry Cliff isn't going to make it. I think George said he's going to be there, so that'll be good. Get to see him, and I think he's bringing some, maybe some vintage equipment. At least he was trying to sell a NC300 and HQ110, as I recall. And, well, I'm running the AF68 LMAC and the AL82 amplifier and the Drake 2A this morning on the horizontal loop antenna as usual. And had a little fun yesterday on 10 meters. I went up there and the band was wide open, and it was all day until way after dark, until it finally died down. So check that out. That's it's amazing. I called CQ one time, and I got a pile up, and I was sitting there fending them off, man, one after the other, from all over the world, Israel and gosh, Hungary and France and all over the place. It was crazy. So anyway, been carefully watching the news about the plane crash there at the Louisville airport, and kind of hits home because I've spent a lot of time there and in and out of the airport, and lived right there. So that's that was a sorry sight, I'll tell you that. It's amazing. It looks like the UPS plane, the engine fell off right before it got off the ground, the left engine, and the rest is history. So it just, everything just blew up when it hit these big storage tanks full of used oil. So, buddy, over to you, WB4ARK and 4LQ.
N4LQ, WB4ARK. Okay, Steve, well, the band is extremely quiet today. No static crashes, very little noise, and I guess we've got good transmission conditions since everybody is coming in quite strong. But we don't have any real far stations like Cliff or George to measure by. Well, let's see. Yeah, it looks like I'm on frequency this morning. I'm on a different ART-13 this morning, and it's not my usual unit. And we got about 110 watts to the antenna, and it looks like the audio is doing pretty well, and the transmitter is in very good condition. So and we're receiving on the R390A. I guess that's about it for right now. So we'll turn it over to Boom, WA4EVK, WB4ARK.
WA4ARK in the group, WA4EVK. Morning, everyone. About, when I looked, it was 48 degrees here in Pickens. Just beautiful sunshine day, looks like. Hope so. Running the AS68 in the Swan Mark 1, about 300 watts out to a new in-fed half wave up about 50 feet. Not much going on. I will be a Spartanburg, so just looking forward to that. Hopefully we have a Cub. It'd be good to see George and so forth. Sorry that Cliff couldn't make it, but I understand the conflicting groups there. Not much other than that. I'm going to try to have a couple of small pieces of gear to bring to the parking lot there at the luncheon. And with that, I'm going to send it on over to Jimmy. K4JL to take it, WA4EVK.
WA4EVK, K4JAL. Well, good morning, everybody. It's another day. Glad to be back. I've had some travail in my life since I was here last. Helen had chest pains and had to have a catheter, heart catheter. Wasn't anything wrong, couldn't find a thing, but she sure had a bad EKG and so forth to begin with. So We don't know. I'm on the ART-13 as usual and listening on the Drake 2A, and got an in-fed half wave. Hope it's working. Back to you, Charlie, W4MEC, K4JAL.
Okay, Jimmy, K4JAL and the old friends, W4MEC. Do we have any late check-ins that would like to join us? Come now. Okay, nothing heard. Hold on 1 second, please. Well, that's W4MEC, the old friends. Terrible splatter coming from up the band, and W4 or N4OSJ, I think, was the source. I guess that's the group that meets on 25, but he was kind of bleeding over on me. So anyway, good morning, fellas, again. And Jimmy, sorry to hear about your wife's issue there with the chest pains. And I was going to say maybe indigestion, but you said the EKG was messed up. So not sure what that is. So I guess that's something to watch and keep ahead of there. Let's see. Well, sorry, Cliff's not going to make it. He's missed that lunch a couple of times, so I guess he's got to work it in at least once there. Let's see, what else do we have here? Yeah, that plane crash was quite the thing there. 9 people killed, and I don't know if they figured out what's wrong or what happened, but a lot of times when you hear about those kind of crashes, it's they forgot to put the flaps down on takeoff, you know, so that's something that amazingly happens a lot. So anyway, NTSB will figure it out. They're still paying those guys. Oh, they're not paying those guys. They have to show up, but they don't get paid. So they're essential employees that still have to do their job. So anyway, they'll get back pay, of course. What else we got here? Boone, guess what? I'm going to be on 6 meters tonight. Well, wait a minute. That's correct. So I'm sorry, Mr. Next Tuesday night I'll be on 6 because they canceled the meeting because so many of the board members were going to be gone. They didn't have enough for a quorum, so there were only going to be 3 of us. So they said, I can't do anything, so why show up? So if I can remember and I'm awake, I will be on 6 next Tuesday night. So let's go around again. WA4LLR, W4MEC.
Okay, Charlie. Fine business.
W4MEC, WA4LLR. Well, we've got a fairly
concentrated set of equipment this morning. 2 AF-68s, 3 ART-13s.
And I'm going to just assume Charlie's running a Heath Kit
TX1. Now, I could be wrong, but that's what it sounds like to me. Jimmy, I'm glad that they couldn't find anything
wrong with Helen. Sorry she had to have a
heart cat. And buddy, the other ART that you're running sounds wonderful. And Steve, good deal on all that DX on 10 meters. I've not been up there in a while. Let's see here. Not too much more going on here. I'm going to make this my last one so we can get out and get on the road to Chicken Liver Nirvana. But the space weather today, pretty active. Sunspot counts 76 and the solar flux index is 147, but the K space weather was reporting a 6.67. So it's we got a geomagnetic storm going on. A few items from this day in history. Let's see here what's going on today. On this day nothing's working for me this morning. Here we go. On this day in 1528, Spanish explorer Cabeza de Vaca landed in Texas On this day in 1860, Lincoln was elected president. On this day in 1861, Jeff Davis was elected president of the Confederacy. On this day in 1917, the Bolsheviks revolted in Russia under Vladimir Lenin. On this day, 1977, a dam broke in Georgia, causing a flood at Toccoa Falls and killed 39 people. And a very important event. On this day in 1492, Christopher Columbus noted in his journal that the Indians had introduced his crew to smoking tobacco. Back in Spain, one crew member was jailed after alarmed people called a man blowing smoke out of his nose the work of Satan. He may have been right. Anyway, thanks for calling it, Charlie. 7-3, God bless everybody. Have a great day. Lord willing, we'll either see you at the luncheon today or on the net Sunday. So, N4LQ, WA4LLR.
All right, 73s, Dave. N4LQ, WA4LLR, N4LQ. Where am I? Let's see here. Yeah, well, all the AF-68s are doing good this morning, and Heathkits and what have you. For some reason, I decided to count the number of tubes that I have running right now. I've got 10 in the 2A, 2 in the AL-82, and 9 in the AF-68. So I've got 21 tubes lit up. So do I have the, am I the winner of the tube count today? Let's see. In Louisville, they're up to 12 dead now, 16 missing, and it took out a half a mile of industrial park, and I don't know how wide it is, but a half-mile long swath of everything burnt to a crisp. And yeah, it definitely was the engine that fell off, and it's laying way back on the runway, right beside the runway in the grass. Apparently it came off and took off on its own and went to the other side of the runway, and it's laying there in a smoldering heap. And the plane went on to, of course, it losing its left engine, it tilted to the left, weighing down, hit a building, and then that was it. It tore a hole in that building, and then it started hitting those fuel storage tanks. Something tells me that they might not want to have fuel storage tanks at the end of a international airport. Anyway, looking forward to the luncheon. I think Gary is coming with me, and John is not going to be there. KZ4B can't go, and I hope everything's okay with him. I'm not sure what the deal is, because he usually is chomping at the bit to get down there and get those chicken livers. And there was some talk about going over across the street to the farm, what is that place? Rural King. And I'd like to do that. I don't know if I have time. I got to get back and get to a funeral showing to a ham friend of mine here in Shelby about 2 o'clock. So anyway, and Jimmy, sorry about your wife or Helen there. I hope she gets healed up there quickly, and everything will be okay, I guess. It sounds like they're uncertain of whether they fixed her or not. So, and Boone, your in-fed half-wave and that AF-68 are doing a great job here. So, Mr. Buddy, back to you. WB4NK, WB4AK, ARK. It's N4LQ.
N4LQ, WB4ARK. Okay, Steve, Jimmy, we're sorry to hear about your wife undergoing a condition there that required a heart cath. That's kind of scary, I guess, in a way. But it's good that they didn't find anything. But it does kind of give you something to ponder in the future to kind of watch out for. Well, yeah, that that accident was pretty catastrophic. It looked like it damaged the wing when that engine came off, so probably led to the instant demise of that aircraft. Maybe it would have been able to fly if it hadn't damaged the wing. Well, I don't think there's much else to be said here. The weather is perfect here. It's as it was yesterday. Beautiful blue sky, no clouds, and rather chilly. It was 40 degrees this morning at about 7:15. So yeah, it's going to get cold, which is inevitable at this time of the year. We got a big vortex coming this way, so I hope everybody's heater is working correctly, and we will all be warm. Our next door neighbor had a Generac generator installed yesterday, and they have a daughter that has some issues, medical issues, issues with walking and talking, and she needs to be have heat, uninterrupted conditions of heat and cool, and not be out of the range of norm. So they decided to go ahead and get one installed. I was amazed at the price. It was quite interesting how much this this unit cost. The generator was $6,000 and the labor was about $10,000. So if anybody's having anything done, it's this day and time, it's going to be quite extensive. Expensive, I might say. Not extensive, but expensive. So we'll say 73, and thanks for calling the net, Charlie. And over to WA4EVK, WB, is that WA4EVK? Yes, WB4ARK.
WA4EVK. Well, thank you, buddy. Coming in here with great audio this week, by the way. That other AR-13 is doing a great job in here. Well, Jimmy, I hope the wife gets better very quickly there. It feels better. I know she probably wasn't a pleasant experience, that's for sure. Even taking the exam is not a very pleasant experience, I'll tell you that. Not much else to add. I will see those of you that go into Spartanburg here after a while. Not much else going on here. So I'm going to send it on over to Jimmy. K4JL will take it, WA4EVK.
WA4EVK, K4JAL. Well, thanks for the kind words, guys. Helen's fine. She went back to work Tuesday. Of course, she works at home. She's going to the cardiologist tomorrow, but they say that the likely thing that happened, she had an arterial spasm. and it could have been a combination of indigestion caused it to start, but a small amount of cholesterol sometimes in an oil ring will make it spasm. Beats me. The other problem I've got is our Audi, which is 10 years old, has a lazy caliper on the front, and it happens it's a 4-cylinder caliper. They don't make many of those, and the only place to acquire them is at the Audi dealer, and they want $1,600 for the 2 calipers. So it's been a great car, and we'll fix it, of course, but the Germans will nail your hiney to the wall. So back to you, Charlie. W4MEC, K4JAL.
Ouch. K4JAL in the group, W4MEC. I heard somebody tuning up. Do we have any late check-ins? Come now.
K4WJM.
Is that K4WAM?
Yeah, Kilo 4 Whiskey, Japan, Mexico. The name is Bill, like in Boy I Love Ladies, and Winston-Salem, North Carolina is the location.
Okay, Bill, we'll put you at the end of the list if you're going to hang around. I'll ask Boone next time, WA4EVK, and correction. You'll be after Jimmy, K4JAL next time. Anyway, go ahead and make a transmission, tell us all about what's going on there, and turn it back to me, W4MEC. Go ahead.
Okay, W4MEC. I'll tell you what. Yeah, I thought I caught K4EDK in there, and I've known him forever. But since he left 40 meters AM, I lost track of him. So I was hoping that's who it was, Jim down there in near Lincolnton, over.
He passed away.
No, that's the Whiskey Alpha 4 EVK. That's Boone over in Pickens, South Carolina. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, different one. Okay, well, either way, I don't know whatever happened to Jim McCurry, but I guess hope he's still alive. He was a hell of an operator. Anyhow, it's nothing great. I mean, nothing fantastic here, except I finally, just dialing down, I said, damn, there's finally some AM on the air. The guys higher up, they can stay there, but you guys sound like a nice group, and I didn't even know you guys were here. I haven't really strayed below about 3720, so it was interesting to know, and everybody sounds pretty darn good. Hopefully I've got acceptable audio. I'm straining to make it all work, over.
Okay, well, we've been here for 28 years about, and we started higher in the band around 3810, and finally came up here as a QRM chased us off. So anyway, let's see what else. We also roundtable style on that, so most not necessarily push to talk. So the old buzzer transmission is welcome here. So I guess you're operating with the group on 3725. I don't know what his call was. I forgot his call. He was giving me a heck of a time this morning with Splatter, but we made it through. Go ahead.
No, we usually on 3720, and we're out of here before now. Usually out by about 6:30. We all leave Slop Bucket on 3720. So yeah, hopefully we never crawl on you guys either. I didn't know you were there. What time do you start? And I'll try to get over here more often if you'll let my old puny piss whistle radio to get on the air.
Okay, we meet 3 times a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 o'clock on this frequency, and Sundays at 5 p.m. on this frequency. And we meet in Spartanburg once a month for lunch, which is today, the first Thursday of the month. Everybody shows up around 11 o'clock in Spartanburg at the Golden Corral, and we goes from about 11 to 1 or so. We got most times we have a mini ham fest in the parking lot. People swapping stuff back and forth. And let's see what else we got here. We got about 50 on the roster, but in the 20 to 25 range shows up for the lunch, and in the 20 range on a good day, maybe sometime right at around 20 show up for the net. But we're kind of light today with only 6 of us checking in, but probably most of those fellows are heading to lunch. Anyway, so let me run this around again here, and actually 2 of us are left, so this probably be our last round here, and then we'll shut her down here and head to lunch. So anyway, I was going to comment on the wreck there, Steve. I just saw a video about a series of events where the plane lost an engine, and they traced it to a cracked engine mount, which on that plane, I don't remember, it was a big one, plane like that, UPS, there's only 2 bolts hold it in place, and this big cast aluminum bracket, and I guess it's some tough aluminum. But one of the bolts was just about impossible to get to inspect. They actually have an inspection procedure for the bolts. And if they could have seen and inspected the back bolt, they would have seen a crack in the motor mount there, engine mount. And that took down 2 planes until they figured out what the issue was and how to change the skin on the airplane so they could get in there and look at the motor mount, the engine mount bolt. And there was a U.S.-wide FAA requirement to do that, but for commercial airliners, so I'm assuming it went to transportation aircraft too, but there was 2 or 3 planes in a row there over a couple of months where the engines just fell off, and they traced it to that. So that's quite a devastating wreck there, and some of the pictures they have of it is from the cameras and such. You can tell it's missing an engine, that's for sure. So anyway, let's see. All right, back to you, Steve, N4LQ in the group, W4MEC.
Okay, W4MEC and 4LQ. Well, what I heard was that the plane is 34 years old, and apparently UPS bought those used. They had been passenger planes, and Boeing converted them to cargo planes, and the commercial passenger plane companies that had them apparently were glad to get rid of them because they were some kind of a maintenance nightmare. And yeah, they have lost engines. That was apparently a notorious problem for that kind of plane with the bolts coming loose. And one of them, they said the engine came loose and swung underneath the wing and flew back and hit the tail, and of course the plane came crashing down. I think that was many years ago, but they haven't had any trouble since. But the thing that holds the engine on, they call it a pylon, and apparently something went wrong there. As soon as the engine came off, the fuel lines were exposed and gushed out tons of fuel, and so the wing was on fire before it hit the ground. And then when it came in, it hit those storage tanks and took out half a mile of made its own landing strip through there. It burned with such ferocity, the smoke and the fire and everything. There was ashes falling all over downtown Louisville, which was like 5 miles away. They had to close the school system, and the whole county was covered with smoke and soot and everything else. It is a real mess. All right, well, that's quite a story, Jimmy, about the Audi and $1,600 worth of brakes, calipers, just calipers. That's amazing. But I've always heard, and I had an Audi. I had 2 of them way back, and back in 1985, I believe it was, I had an Audi, and that thing had a problem in the fuel line. Got plugged up or something, and they had to clean the injectors out. That was $700, and back in those days, that was a lot of money. Still is, but I never got another one after that. The German stuff is, it's over-engineered, and that makes it unreliable, and their parts are always too expensive. Anyway, welcome to Bill. Yeah, you said something about your audio. It's bassy. I will say that. You probably ought to turn the bass down on it. Doesn't it? I don't know. Is that? I'm looking at your QRZ here. It looks like maybe a Kenwood 590 or something. I guess I'm not sure. But glad you can make it here, and you're welcome anytime. Let's see, over to Buddy, and we'll say 73s. Everybody get ready to head to Spartanburg for the monthly luncheon, WB4ARK N4LQ.
Buddy checked out.
Oh, by the way, EVK, K4 EVK, that's, yeah, he passed away. It's been at least 5 years ago or so, I guess. So, does it go to Boone?
I believe so, Steve. N4LQ in the group, WA4EVK. That accident just gets worse as we hear about it, I'll tell you that. And welcome to Bill, K4WJM. Good signal in here, a little bassy, as Steve says, but a really good signal down here in Pickens, South Carolina. Not much else to add. Looking forward to seeing those of you that are going to be at the luncheon. And with that, I'm going to send it on over to Jimmy, K4JAL to take it, WA4EVK.
WA4EVK, K4JAL. Well, yeah, the Audi, it's been a sad tale. It's a diesel, and it's been the greatest car we've ever owned. I'm going to fix it, and it looks brand new. And it runs like a haint. It sure does. So we'll fix it. Bill, you're bassy, but that's good for me. I only hear the lower register. I'm going to pass it over to you and say 7-3. K4WJM, K4JAL.
Okay, K4JAL, K4 Whiskey Juliet Mike returning. Yeah, like I said, I was impressed by all you guys in here, and I said, well, I'll give it a try and see if this thing will run on AM here. I used to play a little bit with this rig up on 29.1 on 10 on AM back in the year that I bought this thing. I've had it for, I don't know, 15 years or 12 years, something like that. And it's been a good little rig, but I've started playing around with Slop Bucket, and you know how that is. You get lost. And I stumbled across you guys this morning because I was just, normally I'm turned off and doing something else besides radio, and I said, well, you know, I'll scan the dial a little bit. And I heard you guys in there, and I said, well, I wonder if I can set this thing up on AM. So a little too much bass, I can control that. In fact, let me see here if I can pull some of that out. That might have pulled, I don't know if that pulled too much or not enough. That should have pulled some of it out.
Yeah, that's much better.
Okay, that's not a problem. I run an EQ, a Behringer for audio, and studio mic, so it's real easy for me to go over there and grab an analog knob and turn it. Anyway, appreciate you guys letting me in, and I'll try to get in here more often since I found somebody to talk to. later in the day, past 7 o'clock in the morning. This works for me real well. Anyway, I appreciate it, guys, and hope you have a great breakfast. That's a little bit of a ride for me for breakfast. By the way, the age here is well, on December 5th, I'll be 80. So that kind of tells you. Anyway, have a great day, and also I didn't keep track of who it was. I will next time. I'll sit and listen and figure the rotation out. But right now, I'm kind of just logged in and stuck. Anyway, have a great breakfast, and I'll toss it to whoever's supposed to get it next. And just, it's good to hear the AM mode back on the air again. It's nice to listen to. Take care. God bless each and every one of you. K4WJM.
Okay, Bill, K4WJM and the group W4MEC. Well, I believe everybody that checks in on the net here is in their 70s, so or close to 80 or over 80. So you're right amongst us all. Yeah, and we also have a couple fellas that carpool. We got one in Winston-Salem, a couple in Hickory, and they kind of like the farthest guy rides to the next guy, and they ride together to the next guy, and then they seem to all go to Shelby and get in Steve's truck and then come the rest of the way. So if you ever want to come to the lunch, just keep checking in here, and you can probably get set up with a what do you call a hopscotch trip to Spartanburg. So all right, fellas, thanks for everybody that checked in today. I guess I'll shut her down, and see you at the lunch. And Mo, I want one last comment on the rotors there and the calipers, Jimmy. We bought a Suburban from the local Chevy dealer here, Hunter, years ago, and in the 2000, after Obama got in and all that mess, Hunter gave up on Chevrolets and went with foreign cars, like I don't know, Hyundais, and I don't know what the heck they sell. But they said they would service Chevrolets, and since this was a four-wheel drive and all that, I let them do the service. And then one day I needed brakes, and they were going to sell me, not Chevrolet, Advanced Auto calipers that cost, I looked it up after the fact, they were $130 a piece. They were going to charge me $400 a piece for the calipers, and that was the last time I went there. I didn't let them do the work. So I've gone with another shop here that I've been with ever since that are true blue and honest, and they don't sell you $160 Advanced Auto Part calipers for $400, I'll tell you that. So anyway, last comment on that. So we'll see you fellas, and we'll have a good rest of the day. And don't forget 1864 tonight at 8 p.m. And we'll see you on Sunday, 7-3 all. And well, I said, wait a minute. Let's see. Yeah, I'm the last guy. I didn't remember thinking I had to turn it over to Bill there, but he signed for us. So anyway, 7-3. We'll see you Sunday. 74 MEC. Shut down the old Friends Net. Bye bye.